prolific character actor Michael Madsen has died. Known for his roles in Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill Volume 2, Thelma and Louise, and Wyatt Earp, Madsen appeared in hundreds of movies and TV shows over his 40-year career. Today, his manager announced that he died this morning of cardiac arrest. Michael Madsen was 67 years old. And for more on Madsen's legacy, we're joined by film critic Richard Krause. Richard, it's like we're having too many of these segments, huh?
Oh, I agree with you. This one was a surprise to me when the news came in this afternoon. 300 movies, indelible performances. Michael Madsen certainly left a huge legacy behind.
Richard, what does it mean to be a character actor, and what cachet does that have today?
Well, certainly it meant that Michael Madsen was never out of work. He was often not the lead star in a film. He wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio. He wasn't Brad Pitt. He was one of the dependable actors that you could bring in, particularly if you were looking for someone to play a tough guy role, and he would make every scene that he was in better. So he's probably best remembered for his real breakout role, which was in Reservoir Dogs, where he played Vic Vega, or Mr. Blonde, as they called him in the film. And I remember seeing that movie for the first time at the Toronto International Film Festival when it opened. And the scene where he dances to the Steelers' Wheel song, and, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, with a razor blade as he's about to torture the police officer, just absolutely rocked the audience. It was something unlike we hadn't ever seen before, and it made such an impression. And that's the kind of gravitas that Michael Madsen brought to role after role after role. And the story behind that scene, when they shot it, the actor playing the police officer said, "You know what? Let's really get into this part a little bit." And they reenacted part of the film just as a rehearsal. They threw the actor in the back of Michael Madsen's Cadillac and drove around Los Angeles for a little while until they brought him back in. The camera was ready to roll, and Madsen came in with a soda that he had already bought while they were out on their little joyride, and used it as part of the scene. And it's a cool story that I think sort of gives you an idea of how he would mentally prepare to do this scene, which became indelible and a film classic.
Yeah, along with that, Richard, can you talk about the dedication and extra preparation that goes into being a character actor, and also what that does for the audience experience?
Well, certainly, I'm not sure how he prepared for each of his roles. I know that one particular story sort of suggests to me that he was someone who was part method, part, character actor. But I love that he could do a role like that, which is indelible. I mean, people remember the menace of that scene, and then could go on to appear in Free Willy, which was as family-friendly a film as you could possibly get. He also appeared in James Bond movie Die Another Day as an NSA agent. He was in Donnie Brasco. So there was a huge range of roles that he played. But I think his public persona, his personal persona, were that of kind of a bad boy. And he brought that to role after role after role. I think that he, for his generation of actors, was like Robert Mitchum had been to his. Someone who was a very good actor, well-trained, knew exactly what they were doing on screen, but just had this air of menace that made you want to watch them.
And Richard, what about the man behind the talent? What can you share with us about, just a snippet of who Michael Madsen was?
Well, I think that you might be surprised to find out that this tough guy, Michael Madsen, wrote books of poetry. And in fact, at the time of his passing, there was a book called Tears from My Father, Outlaw Thoughts and Poems, which was being edited and prepared for release. He was someone who had a troubled personal life. There were lots of run-ins with the law and that sort of thing. But, I choose to remember him as someone who was a terrific actor, and that someone who, counterintuitively wrote beautiful poetry as well.
And Richard, as we wrap up, today's a Thursday. I know we're going to be talking about, your movie picks tomorrow, but give us a couple movies of his that would be good for us to watch this weekend.
Well, Reservoir Dogs, absolutely top of the heap. I just saw it recently on the big screen again for the first time in many years. It plays really well. So Reservoir Dogs is at the top. Donnie Brasco is another one that I think is really worth a look. Not only is it just a great film, but he's very, very good in it. And let's just have a look here. Free Willy, if you want something for the entire family to watch, that might be a good one. Or any of the movies that he made with Quentin Tarantino, because, of course, they had this kind of unspoken bond between the two of them, having made Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill, The Hateful Eight, and most recently Once Upon a Time in Hollywood together. So, any or all of those films would make a really great addition to your weekend movie plans.
Remembering Michael Madsen. Film critic Richard Krause. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.